I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It is the day before this video goes up, which makes it October 22nd, and it is also 6:30 at night. So this video will go up on October 23rd at noon. Yes, that's right. Originally, I was gonna make a video about the iPad Pro and the new Illustrator app on the iPad Pro, and I was really excited about it, and I was super stoked to be using it, and I got frustrated. I originally wanted to film a first impressions video, but honestly, my first impressions were mostly quiet and also pretty frustrated. Instead, I thought that it would be better for me to take the time, learn that medium, and instead for today's video, do something that is a little kinder to myself. I'm going through some personal things, so I decided that I'm gonna paint, and I'm gonna paint big. I purchased this sketchbook in like March, and it actually was a part of my first ever YouTube video where I did an art supply haul. This sketchbook was in that. It's a Canson mixed media 11x14. I've only used it that one day in that one video. So today I am busting it out and doing some Himi paintings. I don't have a plan. I'm just kind of processing, so it's gonna be just like a stream of consciousness painting. Recently I've been using a pretty small sketchbook, a 5.5 by 8.5. This is like my daily sketchbook that I've been using. Today I just was feeling a little bit bigger. My desk is a mess right now, and for that I sincerely apologize, but I'm going through it, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Also, this sketchbook is way bigger than I'm used to. Wow, I'll just say, I haven't opened this set since I did the video where I reactivated it, but look at it. They're still so juicy. Like, I haven't opened it at all. It's been sitting closed, just the lid, not even the palette in there. It's pretty good. If you haven't watched that video, it's on this side. If you've seen any of my videos before, I usually do a materials breakdown. So I already said we're doing the Canson mixed media. I've got a Weber Masonite palette. I've got some hand-blown glass cups and a pipette. I've got the Himi Miya Jelly Gouache. And this is my bucket of really cheap synthetic brushes, but I do have some fancy ones in here. I don't know if I'm going to use them. So if I do, they're both linked in the description. Everything's linked in the description. I get a very small affiliate link percentage. No pressure at all. Do your thing. I'm just going to paint. I don't know what to paint. I'm just going to... I'm gonna be completely honest, I have no freaking idea what I'm making right now. Sometimes I like to do paintings like this where there's not really anything going on. It's just a stream of consciousness and moving color and mixing color, and there's no subject. I think it's really easy for me personally, and maybe you resonate with this, to get in the habit of making work where I feel like there has to be a subject, and I'm always pushing for even more than a subject. I'm pushing for composition and I don't know, like a finished piece all the time. And I feel like this is something I really advocate for pretty often on this channel, which is just making work for the sake of making work, and that doesn't make you any less of an artist. And also, like, something that I've been realizing recently is that when I make work for the sake of making work, like for me this is just an exercise in my head, I think, but other people see this as my work. And like, I guess I don't really feel like I'm making work right now. I feel like I'm only doing exercises, but it's not true. Like, this is my work. My exercises are my work right now, and that's okay. And that's like, I don't know, it's interesting, and it's what feels experimental to me might feel new and different to a viewer, and so you're allowed to just mess around for a little while and not have there need to be rules, you know? I always say this, the best part about art is that there are no rules. You get to make the rules. If I don't want to make a portrait today, or I don't want to make a realistic leaf or a flower or anything that looks like anything today, I won't. You can just show up on the page. Same way if you've ever taken a yoga class where they say in the yoga class, you know, thank yourself for showing up on your mat today. I think we should start doing that kind of thing in art, and like, thank yourself for showing up to your sketchbook today and for putting the paints on the table and forgetting the brush wet. You know, there's so many decisions in a day and it's so easy. Like, this just makes me feel so good, this page of yellow blobs. Had I not gotten frustrated by trying to make that Illustrator video, maybe I wouldn't have ended up painting this and feeling better and like really liking this, you know? Like, I didn't expect this to be any good. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think we as artists should figure out ways to appreciate ourselves more for the work that we do. Because I feel like it is kind of this, like, I don't know, internal calling. And either you have the calling or you don't, you know? Either you are willing to do whatever you can to make that calling happen, or you're not, you know? It's just the desire that is the qualifier to be in the club. Like, do you want it? Then you're in the club, you know? If you don't want it, then it doesn't matter for you, you know? It doesn't make a difference. I hope that makes sense. I've talked about this in a video before, which you can watch, where I talk about money. Basically, this, I guess it's a volunteer-run organization called Lightbox, who is all about radical price transparency in illustration. They posted this tweet, which I will link in the description and over top of here, where they were talking about how do editorial illustrators make it work with their jobs. Like, literally, how are you able to afford living on such low wages? And as it turns out, there were like 500 quote retweet responses, and most people have something else going on. Either they have a part-time job, or they have a partner, or they have a parent, or they've been doing it for a really long time. There were so many like really eye-opening responses that made it really clear to me that it was like, wow, there's not a lot of people just freelance illustrating. And that's messed up from this perspective of like wanting to do that as a career. Like, that's not great. And then also as like an industry. I mean, I knew that illustrators were being taken advantage of, but like the fact that the people doing the illustrations for the New York Times also have to have some sort of secondary financial plan is just asinine. I don't know. I'm shook. Wow, this is so pleasing to me. I feel really happy with this. It's so stupid, but I mean, it's not stupid. It's just so simple. It's so straightforward, and yet it made me feel so good. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make some more stuff. I love gouache. Anyway, I've been really enjoying making videos where I like have philosophical thoughts, such as those thoughts that you just heard me say, if you're still here and watching. And I'm glad you guys have been really receptive to them. Sometimes I'm like, are people gonna care my thoughts? But a lot of you have been really nice in the comments and really supportive, and also agree in a lot of situations, so that's cool, and it's been fun to talk to you guys. This channel has been a lot of fun, I think. Sorry, I'm waiting for this to dry, that's why we're talking now. I don't know, I think when I first started making YouTube videos for myself, I was really motivated. I've been going through phases where I'm really motivated, and then I'm really tired, and then I'm really motivated, and then I'm really tired. And then recently, I've been trying to experiment a little bit more and try different types of videos, and some of them do well and some of them don't. And basically, it's just been exciting to try new things, and also fun to try and figure out what the system is for me and how I can try and make this life work for me. So that's cool. I'm gonna date this. What's today's date? Today is the 22nd, 2020. I liked that. I'm gonna continue with that vibe, but bigger. Let's go bigger. Something that I'm thinking about right now is just the idea of letting the brush dictate what I make. Sometimes I think we forget how much our tools play a part in the shapes that they make. I don't know. I like this fat brush though. This is really quite atypical from how I work, but I'm really enjoying it. I feel like, I don't know, it's a little mental break that I have been so desperately seeking recently. I'm kind of enjoying this a lot. I'm gonna do a third one. Alright, that's it from me tonight. Those are my little conceptual abstract paintings that I made. I'm really excited with how these turned out. I feel like I haven't really let myself let the brush dictate what I make in a long time, and this was just kind of a mark making practice. And I really enjoy the patterns that I made. I really enjoy the colors and the textures. So I'm really happy I did that, even though it was pretty simple. It definitely helped me feel a little bit better about my work and the things that I'm making. So if you haven't tried doing something like this, I highly recommend giving it a shot at least once every now and then. It really feels good to not have to follow the rules sometimes, even if they're self-imposed. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you enjoyed my insight, please consider supporting me on Patreon for the price of a cup of coffee a month. You can help me support my art practice, and also you can vote on random art things, see little sneak peeks of random art things, all that fun stuff. My name is Sophia Mitropoulos, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, that's linked below. Bye-bye!